All right, guys, it's Caller Monday. It's Monday. We've got a caller. You know the drill. Let's see who we've got. Welcome to the show. What's your name?
Hi, my name's Nina. I'd prefer not to give my last name, Nina G.
That is a wise thing to do, Nina G.
Well, I've been listening to you lately, and honestly,
Sorry, just quickly. Does your last name start with G?
Yes.
Not so wise.
Okay, well, apparently I'm not going to be able to get a word in here, but yeah, I was just saying, a lot of people are giving out their last name on this show, and I really don't think that's smart if we think there's a serial killer out there.
Do you think Ben Robinson is my real name? You would be wrong.
What?
What? You don't, I do this every week.
Okay,
You really think I'm giving out my real name on the air?
I didn't think you'd be using a pseudonym. That's weird.
Not really. I'm talking about a serial killer who's killing online people, and I'm an online person. Have you ever heard of Joanne Rowling?
No, what do you...
Exactly. You ever heard of J.K. Rowling?
Yeah, that's Harry
exactly.
Potter.
Same person.
Okay, but are your initials BR?
I'm not giving that out in the air.
What? How many BRs are there in the entire world?
How many Nina G's are there in the world?
I don't know.
More than 50? Less than 10?
I don't...
Oh, who knows? All right, anyway, so we're getting a little bit off topic here. So, Nina G, tell me a bit about yourself as you're comfortable to do so.
Okay, well, the reason I'm actually calling in is I'm a single mom.
How old is your child?
My child is 5, and I don't know if you know about children these days, but even a child of 5 wants to have access to computer games, and so how easy is it for them to stumble upon something that they don't understand? So I feel like you're just throwing all this stuff out there, you're making it a bit of a joke, and I feel like it's really upsetting.
All right, let me ask you this then. Does your 5-year-old have a cell phone?
No, I haven't given my 5-year-old a cell phone.
Okay, so how does your 5-year-old get online?
Well, when I'm around, my 5-year-old can play computer games, but one click of the button and suddenly they're on some other site, and that's actually how I came across your site.
That's what parental locks are for on your computer.
You know what? I don't know the newfangled stuff, okay?
It's not even newfangled. That's been out last at least 10 years, but I'm just going to...
How am I supposed to learn about that? I don't know how to figure that out.
Do you know how to use Google?
I know how to use Google. I prefer Bing myself, but yes, I know...
Bing! Golden oldie there. Okay.
I prefer Bing. I think it's safer.
Same difference. Put it in Bing.
I don't know why you're laughing. I feel like
I'm laughing because this isn't remotely the worst thing on the internet.
Of course it's not.
This doesn't even break the top 1,000 worst sites. This is like Sesame Street.
But why does it have to be so graphic? Why do you have to go into so many details?
Well, that's what it is.
What do you mean that's what it is?
It's a show about serial killers, talking about the serial killer and how she's killing people.
I think you hate women. I think that's the problem. I think you hate women.
Why? Okay, break that down for me. Why?
Because when females call in to your show, I find you very short, very rude, and you cut them off a lot. Secondly, the fact that you just assume with no kind of information or any kind of facts or data that this serial killer is a woman.
No, there's actually a bit of supporting data there. So
okay, what? I'm not familiar with what data you have.
Okay, so a couple things. So first of all, one of the victims was a victim of poison before he was murdered. Poison is traditionally a woman's weapon for murder. Now, just before you jump in there, does that mean it's 100% for sure a woman versus a man? No, of course not.
Of course not.
Of course not. But
of course not.
All the victims are also all under 160 pounds. Even the weightlifter, even the bodybuilder was under 160 pounds. He was a little guy. And by the way, should you wish to subscribe, the red button is on the bottom right-hand corner of the video box, and don't forget to click that notification bell.
I have no interest in subscribing to your channel. Why would I want to subscribe? As I told you, I think you go into too much detail, and I think you're glorifying these serial killers.
Nina, just let me stop you there. You do realize that the show is for adults, right?
Of course I do.
It's not kids.
But children have access to this stuff.
If you're letting your kid run wild on the internet.
You have a responsibility to protect the children.
Why?
Because...
Why do I have a responsibility to protect the children?
They're the future. They're all we have.
They're not my kids.
You don't care. You don't care about the victims. You don't care about women. You don't care about anything except yourself, about your own popularity.
Great. Wonderful. Well, Nina, we're going to wrap this up. Is there anything else you want to share with us before you go?
I just want to say, John, if you're listening, you're behind on child support and you're an asshole.
All right, guys. Well, that's enough of that. For any parents out there, please do make sure to check your parental locks on all your computer systems. Also, for those of you who weren't aware, baby gates are now a thing. Crazy, I know. It's cutting edge stuff that's coming out. You should look that up on Bing. All right, good night.